9 corners of the galaxy and saving the lives of as many patients as possible. But not that one. They will be planning, building, upgrading, making rooms very pretty for your own mental health reasons. Platonic relationships, galactic exploration, horrendous accidents, total professional ruin. And if all goes well, we'll get around to treating a few patients. It's a challenging position, Director, but we hope to welcome you to Galacticare promptly. And together, save the galaxy. One patient at a time. But not that one. Staring at bins, critiquing art, being confusingly handsome. Not you, of course. I'm speaking of the Zill. Anatomically similar to Terran insects, the Zill are the remnants of a proud and cultured civilization. They'll clean up your hospital just for the fun of it and recycle everything they can, within their own digestive tract if necessary. They also have remarkable dress sense. Well, occasionally. This concludes your company-mandated cultural sensitivity training. Congratulations! Welcome, Director, to Galacticare. We specialize in the most important and humane of all industries, privatized healthcare. Faced with the complex challenges of hospital building, management, and the ever-present shadow of death, your role as Director will include the following: servicing various organic needs and preferences, constructing a variety of rooms to treat all sorts of horrendous illnesses, like that thing, hiring and managing staff from all 9 corners of the galaxy, and saving the lives of as many patients as possible. But not that one. They will be planning, building, upgrading, making rooms very pretty for your own mental health reasons. Platonic relationships, galactic exploration, horrendous accidents, total professional ruin. And if all goes well, we'll get around to treating a few patients. It's a challenging position, Director, but we hope to welcome you to Galacticare promptly. And together, save the galaxy. One patient at a time. But not that one. Staring at bins, critiquing art, being confusingly handsome. Not you, of course. I'm speaking of the Zill. Anatomically similar to Terran insects, the Zill are the remnants of a proud and cultured civilization. They'll clean up your hospital just for the fun of it and recycle everything they can, within their own digestive tract if necessary. They also have remarkable dress sense. Well, occasionally. This concludes your company-mandated cultural sensitivity training. Congratulations! Welcome, Director, to Galacticare. We specialize in the most important and humane of all industries, privatized healthcare. Faced with the complex challenges of hospital building, management, and the ever-present shadow of death, your role as Director will include the following: servicing various organic needs and preferences, constructing a variety of rooms to treat all sorts of horrendous illnesses, like that thing, hiring and managing staff from all 9 corners of the galaxy, and saving the lives of as many patients as possible. But not that one. They will be planning, building, upgrading, making rooms very pretty for your own mental health reasons. Platonic relationships, galactic exploration, horrendous accidents, total professional ruin. And if all goes well, we'll get around to treating a few patients. It's a challenging position, Director, but we hope to welcome you to Galacticare promptly. And together, save the galaxy. One patient at a time. But not that one. Staring at bins, critiquing art, being confusingly handsome. Not you, of course. I'm speaking of the Zill. Anatomically similar to Terran insects, the Zill are the remnants of a proud and cultured civilization. They'll clean up your hospital just for the fun of it and recycle everything they can, within their own digestive tract if necessary. They also have remarkable dress sense. Well, occasionally. This concludes your company-mandated cultural sensitivity training. Congratulations! Welcome, Director, to Galacticare. We specialize in the most important and humane of all industries, privatized healthcare. Faced with the complex challenges of hospital building, management, and the ever-present shadow of death, your role as Director will include the following: servicing various organic needs and preferences, constructing a variety of rooms to treat all sorts of horrendous illnesses, like that thing, hiring and managing staff from all 9 corners of the galaxy, and saving the lives of as many patients as possible. But not that one. There will be planning, building, upgrading, making rooms very pretty for your own mental health reasons, platonic relationships, galactic exploration, horrendous accidents, total professional ruin. And if all goes well, we'll get around to treating a few patients. It's a challenging position, Director, but we hope to welcome you to Galacticare promptly, and together save the galaxy, one patient at a time. But not that one. Staring at bins, critiquing art, being confusingly handsome. Not you, of course. I'm speaking of the Zill. Anatomically similar to Terran insects, the Zill are the remnants of a proud and cultured civilization. They'll clean up your hospital just for the fun of it and recycle everything they can, within their own digestive tract if necessary. They also have remarkable dress sense. Well, occasionally. This concludes your company-mandated cultural sensitivity training. Congratulations! Welcome, Director, to Galacticare. We specialize in the most important and humane of all industries, privatized healthcare. Faced with the complex challenges of hospital building, management, and the ever-present shadow of death, your role as Director will include the following: servicing various organic needs and preferences, constructing a variety of rooms to treat all sorts of horrendous illnesses, like that thing, hiring and managing staff from all 9 corners of the galaxy, and saving the lives of as many patients as possible. But not that one. There will be planning, building, upgrading, making rooms very pretty for your own mental health reasons, platonic relationships, galactic exploration, horrendous accidents, total professional ruin. And if all goes well, we'll get around to treating a few patients. It's a challenging position, Director, but we hope to welcome you to Galacticare promptly, and together save the galaxy, one patient at a time. But not that one.
Hello everybody, welcome to Galactica. Everyone in chat, please let me know if there are any problems with the audio. My name is Lee, also known as Noontide, and I am one of the game designers and the community managers at Bright Rock Games, and I've been working on this game for quite a while. Joining me today as the invisible voice of judgment is Josh, the creative director of the game, and we are going to be playing through level 2 of the demo, which is now available on Steam. It's now available, right, Josh? We have pressed the big red button.
Press the button. It was green.
It was green.
But we have pressed it.
Well, that's a letdown, isn't it? It's a big green button rather than a big red button.
It was a nice green button, though.
Oh, well, fair enough, fair enough. we didn't really come with much of a plan. We're just gonna go for it. But if you don't know, we've been working on this game for the past few years. It is a hospital management game set in space with crazy aliens and all sorts. And it's going to be our first time streaming for a while, so I'm a little bit anxious. If you have any questions, please do throw them into the chat. We will be following and we will be trying to answer them as we go along. And without further ado, I think that's good for us to start. Right, Josh? You're
Yep.
good?
All
Cool.
good.
All right, so we're going to load into level 2, Burning Moon, which is set at our music festival. We're going to get our briefing from Cora Ryan, the CEO of Galacticare now.
And we're off to the big leagues. The Burning Moon Festival is operated by an old fellow, Leonard Moon, who's a notorious eccentric. Music, chemicals, various other indulgences. A lot goes on. I went to one of these things once. I nearly got wiped out by a flying piece of tungsten. Expect to have a real mess on your hands with this one. Good luck, director.
All right, let's get in there. Yeah, we've been preparing this demo for you for the past couple of weeks. It's been a hard road to try and get us all the way here. We're going to leap in and we're going to get an opening cutscene just as I quick go.
Director, lovely to see you. And just in time to not get blamed for the terrible accident that just happened. Your year-end bonus is secure. We've been contracted to provide medical support for the Burning Moon Festival. Named for, well, I suppose you can just look out the window.
Wow, it's so bright! Heel, why are they setting the moon on fire?
Medi, it's just one of life's many thrilling mysteries. Get the mop.
All right. So, those of you familiar with the genre will know
Our
that...
contract is for the duration of the festival,
Thanks
which is
again.
split between various acts. I'll pop that information up on the objectives window. We're expecting calls from Leonard Moon, the festival's owner, as the revelries develop.
Wow, man, that's a turnout. I'm gonna give a big wet hug to all the planets and people in the galaxy. If you don't set something on fire, I am gonna kick you out. Alright, love you. Bye.
Yes, that'd be him. Wonderful chap. A very clever and handsome fellow, by all accounts. Never met him myself.
Wow, hey, so things are already popping off down here, and some kind of metal situation has happened, but not in a good way. We kind of want to get this cleared up before people start getting spooked that the festival is dangerous or something. So yeah, open up when you can, please. Thanks a bunch.
It does look rather gnarly down there, Director. Though, now that I think of it, Ms. Orion has been working on a rather illuminating new piece of technology.
All right, so yes, those of you familiar with the genre will know that the general aim of the game is to build up a hospital, treat the various patients that come in with all sorts of crazy and kooky conditions, decorate up your rooms, and just generally make sure that you're getting everyone through and having a great time. We're just placing down a few rooms right now. We just started with our general diagnosis room. We've got our receptionists who will process the patients as they come in. Once the patients are processed, they'll go to general diagnosis, we'll learn what's wrong with them, and then we'll send them to a treatment room. Generally, the game is all about trying to get a very good pipeline going on here. We are going to need a few more. Also, I am... Is that mug floating? Ah, Dan, what have you done? Coming through the wall, man. I know you're out there, Dan. Get a few more cabinets in here, just make our room look good. But when we're building our rooms, we want to try and make sure that they're achieving these little objectives that we've got up here. These tell us that the room's going to be well received by a doctor that's working in here. That's going to keep our doctors happy, going to make sure that we're going to be able to keep them working a bit longer without increasing their wage to make up for the poor working conditions. Of course, that means that we're trading a bit of space, but we've got plenty of that right now. Ooh. Audio ducking. That's cool. Didn't know that was a thing. The things you learn. I've not actually played this game in like 2 or 3 weeks because I've just been on holiday while we were finishing up. So it is very interesting to see how far it's come in a very short span of time. Let's get our first doctors in as well. Now, obviously, with your doctors, there are doctors of all different species and genders, and each of them have traits and levels. So we're going to bring in a few people. A level 1 doctor will stick in here. They'll gain experience as they work in the room and level up. And we also can see in our list we've got somebody with skin lab expertise. Somebody with the skin lab expertise is going to work a lot better in our skin lab. Where are you going? Back again.
I'm being told that the music is a little loud and it's difficult to hear you.
Okay. I can... If I just adjust the music, that might be the best.
Yes, that's probably the easiest thing.
Let's put it at 40%. Do let me know if that's any better. Keep me informed. Also, Josh, do help me out, because I am trying to focus on trying to get loads of stuff going on there.
Sure.
What should I be doing?
What should you be doing? Well, you could probably decorate your hospital a bit better. It's a little bit sparse right now, Lee. You know, it's a bit industrial feeling.
Well, let's get some decorations down there.
Also, somewhere to sit. You know, when you open your hospital up, all these patients are going to come in, and they're gonna loiter around aimlessly, looking, you know, very sad, with nowhere to sit. Which will make them all a little bit upset, actually, if they have to stand around for a long time with nowhere to sit.
I do love how all these benches fit together really well, and the art team's doing a great job. Good job, art team. Good job.
Apart from Dan and the floating mug.
Apart from Dan and the floating mug. Good job, Dan. Always put chairs first. Thanks, Slizzard. Slizzard's been helping us with the public QA.
Dan says he has already fixed the mug.
He's already fixed the mug, like right now, but it's
Yes.
still in the wall, Dan. Look.
Yes.
Look, I can't see it. Can I see it on this side? No. Well, at least it's in the wall. It's not just floating on the other side of the wall. So we're also being recommended to build more diagnosis rooms, a boning chamber, of course, to get our basic treatment room. Let's get a few of those up. 4 more tiles to make the boning chamber spacious. And put that in. You want to tell us about the boning chamber, Josh?
What would you like to know about the boning chamber, Lee?
I don't know. What does the boning chamber do, Josh?
The boning chamber will gobble up your patients whole. It'll chew them up, get rid of their bones, and put new bones inside them. It will literally rebone your patients. That is what the boning chamber does.
Would you say that it's a particularly nice process?
No, I would say it's one of the more violent experiences that you can encounter in the hospital. Probably not the most violent, though. Probably the most violent one in the demo.
Do you think the boning chamber should include a skeleton?
I think it should include all the skeletons. Although I do like putting all the skeletons around the entrance of the hospital, just to like remind the patients what might happen.
Remind them of the impending mortality.
Yeah, you know, it's like, you know, behave yourself, leave us a good review, or this might be you.
I just saw a message from I think their name is Tooth. The number 2 TH and underscore on Twitch, saying this is a stream we haven't seen in a long time. Yeah, it was funny, sort of like checking out our streaming history and seeing that we haven't streamed in 5 years. It's like, has it been that long? Crazy.
It has been that long.
It's
Lee, how about we recolor some of our rooms? Why don't we make the boning chamber like some horrendous yellow?
red, yellow?
No, let's go with a horrendous yellow.
It's not called horrendous yellow. Will yellow suffice?
Yeah, regular yellow will do.
Wow, look at that. Lovely. I actually think that looks pretty cheerful, to be honest.
Yeah, so yellow is like my least favorite color, but somehow things in this game actually look nice in yellow, even though yellow is a bad color, objectively. So, you know. I tell you what looks really good in yellow is the reception desks. fantastic in yellow. Yeah.
Let's see if that's true. They kind of look like bees.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm gonna make one of them yellow and one of them pink.
I am being requested to reduce the music volume ever so slightly, a little bit more. Like
A little
around
bit more.
15% more.
Would it help if I just reduce the overall game volume a little bit? Or maybe it's just the music.
Possibly.
We'll try
maybe
we'll try
like
30%.
yeah.
Provided this slider actually works. When was the last time we tested it? It sounds like it worked.
It does work. Wait, I tested it this morning.
You tested it this morning. Well, that's good.
I reset all my settings to see how the default audio was.
Get a boning chamber ode. So what can you tell me about the doctors, the species, and the traits, Josh?
So many things, yeah. So right now we've only got 2 species here. You will momentarily be introduced to a few new species, but when you go to hire your doctors, they will all have a species, they will all have an expertise, and they will have a couple of random traits as well. So the species, first of all, will give them a special species trait, which is basically sort of a unique little mechanic associated with each species. So our Ode, for example, the little grey aliens, they get a bonus to research. And in fact, that bonus is stronger for newer conditions that you've encountered. So it's pretty good to have your Ode doctors treating patients with brand new conditions to sort of give you a bit of a boost to your research there. The expertise is effectively something that gives them a treatment bonus in a specific room. Around half the doctors that you encounter will be trainees, so they won't have an expertise yet. So if you don't see a doctor that matches the room that you want to hire a doctor for, you can put a trainee in there, and they will eventually learn the expertise for the room that you've put them in. And then the random traits are then a bunch of extra stuff, so stuff like additional money generated, or there's some other interesting things, like one that makes them attract pests to your hospital, so you'll have horrible little pests outside their room. There's another one which lets the doctor occasionally teleport, so there's all sorts of random stuff in there as well. There's a few questions in the chat as well. Well, one is as a comment on your gameplay, Lee, which is saying you should collect the critters for some additional money.
Oh yeah,
kind of low on money. There's one just down there.
Ooh, wow, that's a lot of money.
It is, yes. And then there's a question from Anchors on Twitch. So, what does your game add/do differently from other games in the genre? So yeah, this is a good question, and obviously it's been very important to us as we've been developing the game. For us, there's a couple of really key things. The first is that we have taken sort of narrative and characterization of everything in the game very seriously. It's very important to us. Maybe seriously is the wrong word, because everything is actually very silly. But everything is fully voiced. All of our levels have a full story to them with a bunch of characters and all sorts of crazy stuff that goes on. This level, for example, if you want to zoom out momentarily, Lee, we can see is actually set at a music festival. This is the Burning Moon Festival, run by a very irresponsible alien called Leonard Moon, who you can see twerking above the main stage there. But he runs this festival, and basically they set fire to this moon and hold a festival around it with all these musical performances. But it's not very safe, and a lot of accidents happen, and many things go wrong. And your job is to deal with all of Leonard Moon's messes and all of the injuries and accidents that happen as a result of this festival. And all of the levels have their own little sort of story going on, their own situation like this, and a series of events that happen in the level that are then attached to that narrative. And Lee, when you open up the hospital, will basically be able to then see what series of events happens in this level. On top of that, that's just sort of the narrative side of things. We wanted to basically try and add a couple of layers of sort of gameplay decision making that were more opt-in for the player to engage in if they wanted to. So a lot of that comes through in what we call the consultant system, which we're going to see a bit later on in this level. where you actually get these doctors who are fully fledged and fully voiced characters that join you for the whole game, and they each have their own sort of mechanic and ability associated with them. But we'll talk about that a little bit more when we actually get our first consultant in a bit, which will require Lee to open his hospital.
I don't know. I'm quite enjoying placing down all these skeletons.
Lee, there are patients that need treating.
Are there though? I don't see any patients. Oh, we see a cool hospital full of skeletons.
This is not the most pleasant entrance.
All right, let's get some patients in, shall we?
First,
we have to find out about our new room, don't we?
Yes.
Laser surgery. Scalpels weren't cutting it, so to speak, so we switched over to high-intensity mining lasers to handle some of the crustier conditions out there. As it turns out, having industrial energy devices blasting away at your skin made people anxious. So I also took the initiative to make it a kind of immersive musical experience, kind of like dressing up an MRI machine as a pirate ship.
I'm not sure how Ms. Orion managed to turn lasers into a healthcare solution, but here we are. Let's get one built, and you can open up the hospital when you're ready.
So laser surgery, as we just heard there, uses lasers to treat people, which is very cool and not at all dangerous. There certainly aren't cases where people just get totally exterminated by them and rendered into little fleshy piles on the floor. That never happens. Let's put a kill switch in here. I'm sure that'll help.
It won't help.
Oh. Oh dear. Well, did you?
Why are you
by the way,
lights in this room?
Huh?
It's like
That's a good
a
point.
nighttime disco. What are you doing?
Oh, fine. I'll get rid of the light. Do you want me to get rid of the light? There you go. It's gone.
I
The
would
light's
like you
gone.
to get rid of the light, yes.
Okay. Did you like my little pile of plants over here in this little section that I accidentally made?
I did wonder what you were doing, but you know, if that makes you happy, then
It
that's
makes
fine.
me happy. Makes me very happy. We're also going to need a doctor for this. Fortunately, we do have somebody with laser surgery expertise. They're also precise, so they'll do reduced damage to patients during treatment, which sounds very important for a room where we shoot lasers at people. All right. And that's our laser surgery setup. I think we're ready to open the hospital, Josh.
You think?
Yep. Raichu Wisdom on YouTube mentions pests outside the rooms. Please tell me there's a Tribble XP in this game. Tribbles is the
Patience
famous
awaits, Director.
Star Trek Tribbles.
Are we ready?
Are we ready?
We don't have tribbles in the game because we do not own the Star Trek intellectual property. But there are a variety of little friendly creatures that you encounter as well.
Very much like
as
to
new
enjoy our
pests.
clinical
In fact, we can see one on the screen now. There's another one there. That's the Solark. They will be attracted to clean and tidy hospitals, and they give you a bunch of money when you collect them.
Money! They're certainly a very strong source of revenue right now.
Yeah, they might
balancing
give you
is
a
yet
bit
to
of
come.
I've been drafting a statement which explains our refusal to open as a political statement, Director, and that may buy us some time in the courts. If you'd like to open, it would save us a lot of time and money.
Right, I think Heel's getting tired of me clicking this button over and over again, so let's open up, shall we? Finally get some patients in.
Yes, you are not either unconscious or deranged and have finally chosen to open the hospital. Splendid news, Director.
Oh hey, you guys are open now. Apparently, that's good actually, because people are like dying down here. My security guards are gonna try and get them up to you, but a lot of them are very heavy from having metal all over their face, so we'll get them to you when we can. Thanks.
Oh,
Hey,
be patient.
so we got all the people who got encased in liquid metal rounded up, and they've been like aggressively shoved into your shovels. So they're on their way now. Please fix them. We need their post-festival reviews for our socials. Thanks.
Not a place for a bin, is it? I think they've got enough skeletons.
Never.
Director,
There's never enough skeletons.
patients who got coded
While
with
you
liquid
sit
metal
here,
have just arrived.
Consider your
It
mortality.
appears that some of them are species we've not yet encountered. I'm sure Ms. Orion will be in touch with a dossier.
That's our first. My God, that's a lot of patients that just walked in. I suppose we have got a lot of rooms set up already, haven't we? Okay, so we just got our...
The Diani are a plant-based species.
New
They're
species,
often
right?
loners, vagrants, artists, explorers. And their family dynamic has a lot to do with their isolation. They're created by a living planet. It won't talk to them. It won't give them purpose. They just pop out of the ground without a reason for their existence. Despite their solitary nature, other species really like being around them. Pheromones or something, who knows?
Is this a good opportunity to talk about the species traits? Josh?
Yes. Yeah, as I mentioned, each species has a unique trait. So the Diani have basically a sort of a happiness aura, where anyone that they are nearby in the hospital will have a slightly boosted mood. And when the Diani are able to sit down, this aura is actually enhanced and increased in size. This ties into their species desires. So each species, along with having a species trait, also has 2 desires that are unique to them, where this hooks into a bunch of different mechanics in the game and things you can build and place in your hospital. And if you fulfill these desires, then every member of that species, which is both staff and patients, will have a boost in their mood. And the Diani specifically like there to be a lot of seating, and they like there to be a lot of plants. Obviously, being plant people, they like seeing a lot of plants around.
Cool. So there's a pretty good chance that we've already fulfilled some of these desires, right? With our seating and the plants going down.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Right, so that was our Diani. And our second species that just arrived are our Kubas.
Kuba
Who you have already put
These
skeletons
hearty
for.
sauroids are patient, precise, and durable. They rarely need a break, and it takes their bladders an almost supernaturally long time to fill up. So there's that. They adore order and live in discrete tribes, all with their own rituals, which have been brought into a cultural structure known as concatenated ordering. The exact details of how that all works aren't entirely understood, but it seems to work for them, so more power to them.
So our Kuba, they're one of the patients that you can kind of push back to the back of your queues a little bit due to their species traits, because while they're waiting, while they're idle, they're going to have a much reduced need and health deterioration. They're going to live longer, and they're going to need less caring for than your other patients, so it's always good to be keeping that in mind if you ever need to rearrange your queues. As for other species desires, we've got the low congestion, so they want to make sure that you're making sure that you've got wide corridors and plenty of seating. Is that right, Josh?
The Kubali like wide corridors and large rooms. The Kubali are in fact our largest species, who have caused all sorts of problems when it comes to pathfinding and the size of objects. But that's a story for another day. But yes, they basically will be happy if they don't sort of have to walk through congested corridors, and if a lot of your treatment rooms in the hospital are what we call spacious, which is effectively they're just a little bit bigger than the minimum size, which then gives you room to also put decorations in, which will fulfill the species desires for other species.
Speaking of species desires, Anchors on Twitch asks if there's any chance of species having conflicting desires.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. This is something that we considered quite a lot. And if you look at other sort of games in the genre that we've, well, I guess not games in this genre, but games in related genres, like Dungeon Keeper, for example, you would often have creatures that would conflict with each other. We initially did want to have some of that in the game, but a conclusion we came to quite early is that as the manager of the hospital, we didn't want you to feel bad if specific aliens were coming in, and that was conflicting with something that you were doing. So a lot of the species desires are set up in a relatively neutral, positive way, where you can kind of choose to ignore them, and they'll be a bit sad, and, if you're okay with them being sad, then that's fine. But if you choose to fulfill them, then everyone will get that mood bonus, which will then in turn increase your hospital rating. And generally the way they're set up is it's a bit of a soft tutorialization system. In effectively all of the species desires, if you fulfill all of them, will then create a very good hospital for all of your patients. So like, one species like the Diani likes there to be seating, and although the Diani particularly like seating, everybody sits down and everybody wants to be able to sit down, and everyone will be sad if they can't sit down. Everyone also likes there to be decoration around, so even though there's a variety of different species that like a variety of different types of decorative props, everyone will be happy if your hospital is well decorated with a variety of decoration. So as you go through the game and you meet a bunch of different species and you see their species desires, those will slowly kind of teach you how to make a very good and very optimal hospital if you start fulfilling all of them. And yeah, basically sort of around halfway through the game, when you've met all the species, you'll then kind of have access to that whole system. Schlizzard asks, I wonder, what will happen if there's not enough toilets for everyone? What will the patients do? So, initially, you'll see queues forming outside your toilets, and you'll see people getting very upset, and that will include both your patients and your doctors. If any of the characters' need is unfulfilled long enough, they will eventually get so mad that they need to leave, effectively. So if they are a doctor, then they will simply quit. If they're a patient, then they will just leave the hospital untreated. Both of these things are generally quite bad.
So I noticed that our ode are asking for more curious decorations.
Yes.
So that sounds like there's a need for more skeletons.
Of course, there's always a need for more skeletons.
So we'll just make sure that there's plenty going on here.
Yeah. Lee, what is this interesting decorative object you have placed here?
Oh, this our Leonard Moon.
Yes.
It's the same guy who's over here. He's just dancing all over the place.
If you hold Control, Lee, you can go off grid, and it goes half cell off grid, so you can center that Koopa Valley skeleton.
Can you?
Between
it
the human
doesn't appear to be
skeletons.
working, Josh.
Oh, no, the Koopa Valley. You're like I'm on a delay when I'm looking at you, which is.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, because I'm not screen sharing to you. No, it doesn't appear to be going off grid.
Well,
So maybe that's a bug.
it's meant to. It's
Well,
meant to.
we can all
That's
just
fine.
stare at how poorly aligned this is.
Yes.
So
But
no
anyway,
random
a hologram.
alien poop everywhere, Ash Slizzard?
Not at present. It is something that we have considered, and we might do. As you can see, there is plenty of bodily fluids in the hospital already. So what's a few more, eh?
Is this it?
I like how you've put that guy to work in a room where there's 3 skeletons of his own species just outside.
Yeah, as it's to remind him what happened to the last guy who left this room unattended.
I see.
Speaking
So he's not allowed to go on breaks.
where are our metalhead patients? What have they got up to?
They might all be waiting for diagnosis still.
Crikey.
I don't think you.
Oh
prioritized
yes,
any of them.
position 6. No, I didn't prioritize many of them. Let's prioritize a few, shall we? Just get them up the queue.
Yeah, you can actually do this in the patient management window now. It's a lot easier to do.
Oh.
If you open that up, you can filter by metalhead patients and then just go click, 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 and prioritize them all.
Metalhead. Bam. Get those up those queues. Start making a bit of progress. I agree with whoever's currently running the Bright Rock Games account. You should get a free skeleton prop whenever the boning chamber fails.
Wow. So you actually unlock the skeletons. They're just available by default in the demo. Well, some of them are anyway. But the way you're meant to unlock the skeletons is through the influence system. So each species you encounter, you actually have like a sort of a relationship with them that grows over time. And every time you treat a species, a patient of that species, or every time you complete a level or an event related to that species, you'll actually gain an increase in your influence with them, and that will eventually unlock a bunch of rewards. And that could be anything from decorative objects, like these wonderful skeletons. There's also the brains from each species as well, to more unique things later on. Like a couple of the species will give you a very unique, very powerful room upgrade, for example, that you can use once per hospital. As well as skins for your consultants, skins for Medibot as well. Oh yeah, Lee, you should go and change the skins on some of your Medibots. Also, the merchant is here. Do all these things.
But yeah, I just did that.
Again, the delay.
Yeah, so our merchant Baz just arrived. didn't actually see where he was. I was too busy sort of like focusing on all the skeletons. I'm like, oh, he's over here. There he is.
Yeah, he's over on the left. Yes.
Until next
Off he
time.
goes.
Or the right.
Galacticare.
The right, depending on which way around you are.
Some of you may recognize his voice from our previous game, War for the Overworld, a dungeon management game that fuses together the RTS, RPG, and God game genre.
Yes, the voiceover from the trailer is fused into Lee's mind.
Yes.
Because we had it playing on loop at an expo we went to.
That should be a condition in this game.
For 3 days straight. But yes, Baz, or can you go the full name, Lee? Can you do it?
Bazanora Fagoria.
There you go. That guy, Baz. Yes, is voiced by Richard Ridings, who was the voice of the mentor in War for the Overworld and in the old Dungeon Keeper games as well. And also the voice of Daddy Pig in Peppa Pig.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
For those of you with small children. Or who
I'm
like
Daddy
children's
Pig.
programs.
Darkest greetings, Underlord.
But yes, it's been wonderful to have Richard back. It's been wonderful actually to work with all of our voice talent for this game. It's been really fun because we've basically over the past month or so as we've gotten to record everything, and it's been great seeing all of these characters finally come to life. Because internally they're all voiced by robots. As we put these levels together and we write the scripts, the game just spits out text to speech, so everyone sounds quite wooden.
Yeah.
So having it replaced by real voice work has been great.
I was just standing in the door. You know what he needs? A reminder. You're here forever. Whether as a living being or as a skeleton. This is one of our treatment rooms. This is our laser surgery that we just got. You see, we got our little flying drones that fly around and laser off the metal from patients.
You guys are doing? I know all their names and I haven't.
Oh, and you put a
bought any
holographic
yet,
doctor
so
in that
we'll
room.
see where
I
this
did.
goes.
Yes, so holographic doctors are wonderful because they don't need to take breaks. They will just simply work non-stop. They also don't need to be paid. However, they also can obviously never have an expertise because they are holograms. So they're not quite as good as your, regular fleshy doctors, but they have their benefits. Schlizzard asks, will you be able to go into negative economy, so I'm guessing negative money, and will the game offer credit or banking of any kind? So, yes, you will be able to go into debt. It's kind of difficult right now to go into debt because the game is fairly forgiving economically. We also haven't turned on fines yet. Whenever a patient dies or whenever a patient is kicked out of the hospital or they leave because they're angry, basically whenever you fail a patient, you are actually going to get fined and lose a number of credits. And that's going to be a rather significant way of potentially going bankrupt. But that's not in the demo. And also, the demo is very generous with the amount of money that it gives you for treating patients and collecting critters. But in the final game, yes, getting into debt is a very realistic possibility. And there's a couple of things that we do at that point. So you are able to still continue building rooms and buying normal objects and hiring and paying for staff, which is what we consider sort of normal purchases. We're not going to stop you doing that. However, it does actually become more expensive. We do tax you on effectively, going into debt. For us, that's simply a more streamlined way. Instead of making you take out a loan and then you have to repay the loan with an interest rate, we simply just bypass that and let you continue spending, but with an extra fee on top. However, you are not able to make what we call luxury purchases. So you're not able to buy new sections of the map, and you're also not able to buy anything from the merchant. Those two things are also generally the significantly more expensive things in the game. Room construction and doctors are generally not too expensive, but expanding a hospital and buying room upgrades and other things from merchant, very expensive. So we don't allow you to do that when you're in debt. And if you get into enough debt, you will basically have your hospital shut down. That's also not turned on in the demo. So the demo is, again, very, very forgiving.
Hey Josh, have you, I'm going to answer Leonard Moon's call.
Okay.
Apparently our boning chamber just killed somebody, so
well,
I guess that means it's time for another skeleton.
I'm sure that patient had it coming.
I don't know what they were, so I'm just going to put that in a human in solidarity. And I'm going to put it inside this human. But it's like a skeleton just escaped. And now it's Answer Leonard Moon. By the way, I don't know if you noticed this, but the tooltip says that a dead patient is in this room.
Yeah, the cool icon inherits the tooltip from other places in the game. It's a bit weird. We need to fix that.
Beer Vampire, you can... Hello, by the way. You can play this game right now on Steam.
In the event that you guys do a great job...
For a free demo.
Wow, great job.
Free demo, yes.
Thanks for doing whatever it is
Which
you
someone
did.
should probably
It's
add
certainly
to
great for
the description
festival.
on
Thanks,
YouTube
here's
and Twitch.
money. Goodbye.
Hint, hint. Somebody with access to that, please go and do that. Add a link to Steam.
Alright, so that was our first event. We've got a couple of rewards. We got some credits, which obvious, standard money, which we buy rooms and props and stuff with. We got our Lomium. What does Lomium do, Josh? It's not available in the demo, though.
Yes, Lomium is our special currency that you earn for doing very particular things. So you earn Lomium for completing objectives and missions inside each level. You also earn Lomium for treating colossal aliens, which we will see a little bit later on in this level.
Hi.
And you also earn Lomium from one of the little critters that can enter your hospital. That's the rarest type of critter, though. And Lomium is used to unlock special rewards. So there is a shop, the Black Hole Market, which is not in the demo, which you can use to unlock a bunch of decorative objects, skins for your characters, skins for Medibots, things like that. So in fact, if we go and click on a Medibot, you can actually see a bunch of the skins, which we've just made available in the demo. In the base game, you will need to unlock them.
Yeah, this button. In corridor approaching, Ben. Ooh. Wow. When did we get all these skins? When did that happen?
We have these skins for ages. We've only just added the UI to let you pick them, though.
Oh, look at him go.
Your portrait is covering up most of the skins, by the way.
My portrait?
In this, your face. Your streaming face.
My beautiful streaming face.
Well, yeah, sure.
Where's our other Medibot then? Here's one.
Hi, Director. Heel is busy designing a new tractor.
We'll move that and then we can see. So we've got our original Medi skin, Cybernetic Medi, Glitched, Harold, which is the big robot in Boning Chamber, Molten, Medi Salazar, who we've not met and is actually in the first level of this game, and Scrap Medi. What do you think we should go for, Josh?
I think we should go for Medi Salazar.
Medi Salazar.
He has a moustache and sunglasses.
There he is. He turns towards us, so I don't have to look through. Oh, I suppose. Oh, no. Ah! But still. There we go. Wow. He incinerated that stuff. He is very angry with his little mustache. Alright. Let's find out what Leonard Moon wants. I left him hanging long enough.
It's me again. So one of our headline acts, Twiggy Pop or something, is sick, like big time. She's already finished her set, so it's not the worst thing if she dies, I guess. It wouldn't be great for our media coverage, though, so please keep her alive for, like, 2 hours or so. Thanks.
Yes. What a delightful fellow. Director, when it comes to VIP treatments, the faster we treat the patient concerned, the better our rewards will be. It's probably worth pulling out all the stops to make sure Twiggy gets the best and fastest treatment possible.
We're getting our first VIP arriving in a moment. The goal of which is usually to treat them as fast as possible. That's terrible parking. With Twiggy, of course, she's a bit special. So we're just looking to...
Makes the best harsh
Where is
noise
she?
in the galaxy.
Over here. There she is.
Medic, you have no idea who this person is.
She
Welcome
is
to the
melting.
station,
That's
ma'am.
awful.
Hey, mate. So, looks like I ran into festicrosis bacteria at the festival, and it's eaten off about half my face. Any chance you could help?
Of course. We'll get your ailments seen to as quickly as we can. Assuming we have seats, you're welcome to sit in one of them.
Okay, thanks. Why does everything smell of chlorine?
So, you found out what's wrong with her? Oh, some kind of flesh-eating bacteria? Okay, great. Keep that to yourselves, please. I know nothing about it, and this conversation...
So we got a couple of questions in chat. I don't know if I'm talking over the VO, by the way.
No, yeah, you're fine.
We good? We good? Okay, cool. How close to completion is the game? It's a question from Twitch. So, we are aiming to have the game out by the end of the year. At the moment, we've been sort of quite heavily focusing on the demo and the first 2 levels, but we've got a pretty clear path to getting everything finished. So yeah, by the end of the year is what we're aiming for. Schlizzard from Twitch asks, any info on crafting, or is it planned? So we have a very, very, very light crafting system in the game. Lee, if you go to the inventory tab, the third one on the left-hand side, all of these rewards that you get for completing events or that you buy from the merchant, anything that you don't want, you can basically salvage into materials, and then you can use those materials to rebuild it into any other kind of those rewards. And that's it. It's very basic, very simple. It effectively just lets you replace your rewards with other rewards if you want them. There's obviously it's not 1-for-1. You don't get to salvage one thing into 100 credits and then build it for 100 credits. It costs a little bit more than it costs that you get for salvaging something. And that's it. That is as complicated as the crafting system goes. Oh, and I suppose the other part of it is the actual things that you can craft. You discover those as you progress through the game, so every time you earn something as a reward, you're then able to research the blueprint for it, and then once you've researched the blueprint for it, you can then craft it. And the researching of the blueprint happens in the research room, which is not in the demo. That's something that you unlock in level 3.
Off goes Twiggy. We gotta treat it quick. I've had this extra Medibot sat in my inventory for a while now. Probably place him down.
We should. Give him a cool skin.
Give him a cool skin.
I think you should set this one on fire. You should go with Molten.
Oh, you know what? By sheer coincidence, I just did that. Hey, that's pretty cool. It's really neat to see these skins in the game. I hadn't seen this. When did we get this in? Was it last week?
It was just over a week ago, yeah.
Nice. That's really cool to see.
Hey Director, I'm Twiggy Pop. I started life as a doctor, working in the core regions. Tough gig, but it's made me pretty good at the job. Also, people really like my singing. Not sure why, but it makes anyone nearby better at their work. More focused. Anyway, that's me. Thanks for taking me on, Director. It's nice to get back to doing something I actually care about.
So Twiggy is going to be our first consultant, and consultants are one of the ways that we're differentiating this game from its contemporaries. Consultants are special doctors who travel with you throughout the campaign. Josh will have explained this a little bit before. And they gain experience and level up, and essentially they're just like hero doctors. Each of them is a unique character with a unique voice actor and a personality and all that. And as you bring them into levels, they'll gain new traits which correspond with their personality. In the case of Twiggy Pop, she was a pop star, so many of her traits have to do with her projecting an aura with her music. In this case, her very starting trait is that she inspires everybody nearby, giving a health boost to any treatments that they complete.
Welcome to the team, Miss Pop.
Thanks, little guy. All right, I'll go get changed. Ooh, any chance of a cappuccino?
I don't think that exists, but I'll try.
Director, we've acquired our first consultant. They're permanent additions to your team, traveling with us from hospital to hospital. Let's open the consultant window to bring Twiggy Pop in.
So Lee, all of your treatment rooms are quite spread out. Something you can do with Twiggy Pop is, and you might want to buy a new section, which you can now afford, is you can sort of build a cluster of rooms around where you're going to put Twiggy Pop down, and then it allows, quite a large number of doctors to then benefit from her buff.
Sounds like a good idea to me. But before I do, I am just very quickly going to buy a bunch of stuff from Baz. The technique monitor room upgrade, that works on consultants as well, yeah?
Yes, it does. Although consultants do need more XP in order to level up. So yeah, but it will still work.
Cool. Holodocs, don't need them. Knowledge bars, I think. Those are always good. In fact, most of the consumables are always kind of great to just have.
Yeah.
Good to have in your pockets. Alright, so we want to build a little thing around utilizing Twiggy's powers, right?
Yes.
Why don't we build diagnosis room? This is going to be atrociously laid out, by the way.
I already hate it, Lee. I already hate it.
Good. That's what I was hoping for. I'm going to put some cups in the wall, some mugs in the wall. I think that's what we'll do.
Why not some skeletons?
Raichu Wisdom from YouTube is correct. She is effectively a space bard. Some skeletons. Why not? Why not some skeletons? In fact, I'm going to put Twiggy in this room, so I'm going to put some Dianite skeletons in.
Uh-huh.
Just to remind her what she would have been if we hadn't saved her.
Yes. Ultra Flipman from Twitch asks, do you need to repeat research need hospital, or once unlocked does it carry over? So research carries over. In fact, most of the progression systems in the game are persistent across the whole campaign. So obviously research, so any condition research that you've completed and any blueprint research for the crafting system that you've completed is completely persistent and carries over from level to level. Anything you buy with your Lomium, those little purple currency down there, that's also persistent. Any of your reputation, your influence unlocks with each of the species, that's persistent. And your consultant progression is also persistent. So pretty much everything's persistent apart from your regular old credits that you get.
I put that there. Badly placed door, isn't it? Do that. And then we're going to put some walls in here. Some walls for our walls. Oh god. I am an amazing interior designer.
Lee, I was about to say that I don't think you'll be winning any interior design awards anytime soon.
Shows what you know.
Some questionable decor.
So Twiggy Pop's ability is based off the position of the doctor, right?
Correct, yes.
So I should be trying to get the placement of the doctors in the room as close to where she's going.
Yes. You probably want to put a staff lounge here as well, because at the moment there's quite a long distance for your staff to have to travel back home.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Okay. I mean, because especially
we'll get to
Pop,
that,
right? You don't want her leaving for ages.
Well, that's why the Dianite skeletons are there.
I see. Are they to warn her?
Yes. If you leave, if you go somewhere, and you take a break, then this is what's.
I see. There is in fact a room upgrade you can get, although I don't know if it's in the demo, that will keep doctors' needs filled. So unless they are kind of working non-stop, they will usually not need to go on breaks because it will slowly fill up their needs when the room is idle. So if that one does pop up in the shop, then that would be a good one to put in Twiggy Pop's room. But as I said, I'm not sure if it is available in the demo.
I think this is my first time hearing the updated music as well. Really cool.
Yes, we added a bunch of new music into the game recently as well.
Really chill. Works. It feels very industrious. Feel like I want to keep placing things. Right. Let's get a few doctors in here. Oh, we want to get who's good at the laser surgery in here. And somebody who's good at in lab in here. I feel like Cuba doctors are going to be really good choice for these rooms, right? Because we want to keep them there as long as possible.
So that's why you hired a human for laser surgery, right?
Well, we can get rid of it. We can sort that. Don't worry about that.
This is our consultant roster, which will allow us to bring consultants into the hospital. Let's bring Twiggy into the hospital now. And
I think you should color coordinate these rooms, Lee.
Glad
Maybe
I could
let's
get
go
down
for
to
like
Mitty,
a bright
how's that
pink
coffee
wing.
looking?
Make everything
Sorry,
pink.
Twiggy.
Pink wing.
Heel says coffee is illegal, and that we'd all die.
I said nothing of the sort. Director, consultants are quite different from other staff members. Let's inspect Twiggy to find out more.
God, that is very pink.
Yeah, it is.
It's a very pink. All right.
Twiggy, like all consultants, is a remarkably effective clinician who can
brilliant.
expertly operate any of our rooms. As consultants gain experience, they gain powerful, unique skills. And sometimes you'll need to make hard choices as to which skills they acquire. You can see the skills Twiggy has in her skill tree. And that's everything you need to know about that. Let's get cracking, shall we?
Would it be in the
Hey, I got a message from Twiggy that everything went okay with her treatment, which sounds good.
Okay.
And also that she's quit the music business, so I have 7 executives here who are using circular breathing to shriek non-stop like a ghoul. Ask her not to do that, maybe. Thanks.
I love that line. Shriek non-stop like a ghoul. Cool. So there's Twiggy out and about, and we've got 2 calls coming in at the same time. And we can see the lovely aura that she's providing to our doctors, and where all our doctors are stood, they're all going to be getting the benefits of that aura. I'm sure there are even more effective layouts than this, but this is how you maximize Twiggy's effectiveness.
And as Twiggy, go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say, as Twiggy sort of like evolves over the course of the game, and the course of your journey throughout the campaign, you're going to gain more and more powers. So sometimes you'll make a choice. In the case with Twiggy, you're choosing between this aura size and aura strength, and then you get ones which aren't choices, which are just like the basic abilities that make up her kit. So everybody's going to generate extra credits, everybody's going to have increased treatment speed, everybody's going to generate additional influence, which is essentially how you build up your reputation with the various species in the game over the course of the meta game. Even more treatment speed and all sorts. This all culminates in her ultimate ability, which essentially allows her to trigger whenever she gets a Eureka, which is sort of like a critical hit in treatment, then everybody else is going to score that at the same time. What do you want to say, Josh?
That's what I was going to say. I was going to talk about the aura increasing in strength as she leveled up, but you covered it, so we're all good. Schlizzard is recommending that you feed your granola bars to Twiggy Pop, which
sounds like a good idea.
If you had multiple, might be enough to level her up. As we said, consultants do require quite a lot of XP to level up because they're persistent throughout the whole game. So yeah, it's a bit of a choice whether you want to use your consumables to level up one of your basic doctors, or do you want to use it to sort of slowly pump up your consultant doctors.
Well, I think that we should try leveling up her. Let's see,
Yes,
so each granola bar.
So don't forget to make your new room pink, by the way. It's very important.
Yes, sure. Well, that's 2 granola bars. That's a mouthful, isn't it? More ways than one. And she has indeed leveled up. So now we get to choose one of her new skills, right?
We do.
Kind of. Which platform does the doctor stand on in the laser surgery? I always forget. Oh no, they don't stand on the. They operate the panel, don't they? I have mucked up. Oh, well.
You just put that the other way around. Terrible.
Well, we can edit
So
the
what are
room.
you- Yes. What are you going to go for? You're going to increase the size? Or
I actually think that with this, the placement that we've got, I think that the power might be a better option.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
So, aura strength. There we go. So now every ability that she has is stronger, correct?
Yes, which includes her baseline ability, the baseline buff of the aura, which adds a healing bonus to every treatment completed by doctors in the radius. So effectively, every patient that gets treated in the aura leaves their treatment room a bit healthier than they otherwise would have, and also less likely to die, which is generally desirable. Maybe not in your hospital, Lee, where you seem to want to collect skeletons.
Collect the bones of the dead. Please attend my hospital so I can harvest your bone. I'm really looking forward to one of our consultants. Just saying.
Hello, Alistair, who's watching on Twitch.
Hey, Alistair. Sexy Alistair.
It's been a while.
Alistair.
Lee, this is a live stream. Calm down. Ultra Flipman, also on Twitch, asks, does equipment need maintenance? Do rooms break down? Yes. Rooms do eventually break down. So rooms and most sort of functional corridor objects as well, like vending machines and toilets, they all require maintenance and cleaning. And specifically, if a treatment room breaks down whilst a patient is being treated, the patient will die. Usually very violently. One of my favorites is laser surgery, so maybe we'll see a laser surgery room break down at some point. It's very exciting.
I know he's gonna get out. Everybody must enter via the Kuba walk of death.
Gap is still big enough for the little alien.
Not anymore. It's not. You've yet to see. You've yet to see my correction. Ooh, Solox. Get a few of those. All right. Well, we have done our Twiggy event, so let's move on, shall we? Also, throughout the course of the level, our burning moon is getting hotter and hotter.
Yes. Lee, I will say you are spinning the camera around quite a lot, which is maybe not splendid for viewers.
Oh. My apologies, viewers. We're getting quite a lot of vomit. What do I do about vomit, Josh?
So what probably happened, and we may have missed, is we actually had some vomitungs invade the hospital. So occasionally we'll have these incursions by different types of pests, which are these horrible little creatures, and they'll come and do a bunch of mean things. We only have one of them in the demo, which is the vomitung, and they're these nasty little nail-like creatures, which will basically slide around the hospital biting your patients, and any patient they bite will violently vomit. So usually if you've got a lot of vomit around, it means that you've had a visit from some vomitungs. As for what you do about it, you generally just need to have enough medibots. There are some special things that you can get later on, which can keep areas of the hospital clean. That's something that you can buy from Baz the Merchant, or that you'll be able to craft. But that is not something that we have just yet in level 2.
She'll be in touch with the details.
You can set one of them to prioritize cleaning as well if the vomit is particularly upsetting for you.
I have just done that. Where is he off to?
Good day.
Oh, he's zapping this over here. Foamy. Here's Baz. Baz is back. Let's get another Grenology bar. Buy some of these stabilizing solutions. I've not had much use for them yet. Repair kits can... Oh, you know what? Let's get another Medibot as well.
Much appreciated.
It's going to help us keep the hospital clean. People do like a clean hospital. Or a clean museum, as Anchor says in the chat.
The strong arm upgrade, I think, is the nourishment module. So if you get that one and put it in Twiggy Pop's room, then she will need to have a break far less often. So that's a good upgrade to put with her.
Yeah. All right. Let's get those. Let's place down. Those go into our inventory.
Yes. And yeah, you haven't had too many low health patients, because Lee, despite your hospital being generally hideous from my perspective, it's pretty effective.
Okay, but who asked me to make the rooms pink?
This is the best bit. This is definitely the best bit.
Galacticare.
Yes, because your hospital is actually doing quite good. You've got a lot of doctors in rooms that are matching their expertise. Your doctors are generally quite happy, which means they're less likely to kill people, either accidentally or on purpose. And your Medibot's doing a pretty good job at maintaining your rooms as well. I've only seen a handful of patients die so far, which is quite impressive.
Well, it is good that I am having an effective hospital. It would be very, very bad if, as a developer, I couldn't even do that.
I know, but sometimes it's more fun to have a crap hospital and have all of your patients die.
Have all the patients die.
We've
not been watching the treatment rooms too much as well.
We haven't.
So it's probably worth us just sort of like hanging about while we listen to the story going on as well.
Anchors ask, is this a hospital game or a museum game? Because there are so many skeletons being played.
In exchange for an
I would say
unknown
it's
quantity
a
of an
choice.
unknown substance, they've lent us their services as therapists, basically with a doctor as an intermediary. These creatures can dive into the depths of our patients' minds, rearrange their neural networks, and slurp out any lingering negative emotion. No issue so far. And the treatments have proven incredibly effective in testing. Sure would be nice to remember what our contract with the clams was, though.
Sounds like it might do the trick. Once we've got some of those rooms set up, I'll dive right in.
So we've unlocked a new room, which is going to help us treat our space fright patients who are on their way as well. Space fright, as the name kind of suggests, is a fear of space, which is very, very unfortunate given the fact that we are indeed in space. So we're going to get our Dreamarium down. What does a Dreamarium do, Josh?
Patients with the aforementioned space phobia have arrived.
A Dreamarium is a room which contains a bizarre
Seems like you guys
brain creature who we sometimes affectionately refer to as a psychic clam.
Space
Who will
spectacular work, Miss Bob.
explore the subconscious and dreams of your patients. It effectively acts as sort of a little bridge that allows your doctor and your patient to commune in the dream world and explore everything that is wrong with the patient's psyche, which is usually a lot. And then you'll see the dreams sort of projected up onto that pad there, which we'll see in a moment. And the dreams, in fact, change based on the species and the condition of the patient that is being treated.
I think every asteroid so far has landed on the Dreamarium that I'm building.
Director, it looks like the festival isn't the only place to find rock and roll. Yes, wonderful. We've taken on significant damage from the impact.
No, we've definitely taken on a few rooms. I'm also going to do what Slizzard has reminded me to do, which is put down some more receptions in our pink ward. I do need to remember to set these up as well as being pink while we're at it. People are vomiting down here. We getting more of those pests? Oh yeah, there's one. Come here, you little git. Zap! Zap! That's really satisfying. All right. Make that pink as well. Pink everywhere. Pink, pink, pink. Very good. Very good. We get all the pests. I think we got all our vomitongs. Excellent. So we got our space fright patients, right?
Yeah. You might want to go through and prioritize them again.
I actually don't think I have them yet.
Have you not?
I don't think so. The filter isn't there, but maybe they're in the list. Not, oh yeah, they're in the list. But what?
Weird.
Oh.
It's weird that the filter is not working.
Yeah, that is odd. Oh well, we'll just go find them the old-fashioned way. Can we, in fact, is this?
You can sort alphabetically the conditions. Maybe.
Nope. You cannot.
Nope. Okay, well you'll just suffer through that.
Space. In fact, most of them are going to be the other way around. Can we invert this list? No, not yet. Oh. Right, space. Space fright. Oh, God. They're going all over the place. Space fright. Space fright. Space fright. Cool. And a couple more down here. Yeah. Brilliant. My hospital's starting to look a bit messy, Josh.
Yeah, Lee, it is. It's kind of a tip. So at this point in time, you know, it would be good to maybe craft another Medibot or two, but we don't have the crafting feature in the demo. So
I think I actually do have a spare Medibot.
Well, perhaps you should put that Medibot down. You also probably something that will help is making sure that you've got enough bins as well, so that at least there's less litter being dropped.
Yes, that's a good point.
We
haven't put any bin. Oh, we did put a bin in the pink ward.
In the pink ward, yes. Other than that, you're going to have to live with the mess for now until your Medibot's get a chance to catch up.
Yeah, definitely want to craft more Medibots right now. I really want to get this stuff cleaned up. It'd be really great to have. We also have a consumable that I'm not sure is in the demo for the Holobots.
Yes, yeah, there is a consumable that you can get, which gives you a bunch of temporary Medibots, which can help you deal with problems like this. But again, not in the demo.
Where I got that.
Holodocs. Get a few more of these room upgrades.
You use a clam to suck out their bad vibes? Wow, I wasted so much money on therapy. I hope it's legal. I'm not a narc. Mostly.
Blizzard is recommending it might be good to lock some high-level doctors in the rooms that the space fright patients are using, so that you're getting through those a little bit more effectively, and also that you've got some knowledge bars to give to Twiggy Pop as well. To maybe
yes, I do still have some of those lingering around.
Blizzard is better at this game than either of us. This happened with War for the Overworld as well.
Yeah. Just like we're doomed to permanently have Blizzard telling us how to play our own games. Should get a second Drumarium down. In fact, maybe it's worth copying that room. It's gonna save me a little bit. Doesn't work, does it? What? There we go. Bam. Alright, and we need... we don't have Dreamarium as a XP, so we'll get a trainee in that room. And we are going to feed Twiggy Pop our Granola bars. Where's she gone? Where is Twiggy Pop?
Did you not lock Twiggy Pop in the room?
No, I did totally forget to lock Twiggy Pop in the room.
It seemed like the psychic clan
so I don't know where. Oh, she's here.
I would marry
She is.
someone who thrived
There you
on
go.
absorbing.
So by default, your doctors will generally stay in the room that you put them in. But if they need to go on a break, or if they have expertise in a different room, then they will, go off and sort of rearrange themselves to try and, improve the efficiency of your hospital. But if you use the locking feature, then you effectively create this sort of unbreakable bond between the room and the doctor, and that doctor will always go back to their room after their breaks, and no other doctor will try and replace them. So in the case of someone like Twiggy Pop, where you're trying to make use of this buffing aura, or if you've assigned, a high-level doctor to a room that you've got some event patients going through, you'll want to use the locking feature to make sure that, what you want is actually happening. Here we can see this guy dreaming about being in space, or a nightmare, I guess, for him.
None of the patients seem to have any.
At least that's what I'm seeing. Again, I'm on a delay.
No, you were pretty much on point.
I was on point? Okay, cool.
Sorry about the ex-wife thing. I've actually never been in a relationship, and I don't know why I lied to you about it. Can I come up there? There's stuff I'd like your mollusk to make not happen in my brain anymore.
Leonard Moon, you are a person.
Fun fact, Leonard Moon and Heel, the robot, are voiced by the same person.
Hello?
I see dead people. You have space fright. What room is causing us the most grief in it? Dead people. Oh, Leonard Moon's back.
Oh my god, there's another whole musician who is now dying for no reason except to make this whole festival a waking nightmare. Can you fix him? Please? His name is Clem Bansig.
Scott is asking when the Hello Kitty Pink DLC is coming out. Well, Scott, you don't need DLC. You can make your hospital pink
anyway.
anyway.
If I want to slop around with roadies until my flaps catch fire, that's up to me and the creator, Clem. I mean, if Clem wants to do those things. Look, just get him back to us, okay? There's too much on the line for it all to be taken down by Bansig's love of the fizzy pump. I'll give you lots of money and goodbye.
We'll be getting our second VIP soon. And the sooner we get Clem back to the festival, the more credits we're going to get. We generally don't want him to be late because, of course, they're having a festival down there. They need people to be on stage at the right time. I do like that yellow boning chain.
Eel, that VIP just arrived. He's shaking like an aging pirate. Yarr!
Oh, yes. I, Clem Bansig, am badly diseased from my many salacious adventures.
Actually, sir, it seems like you might have just had too many energy drinks.
Oh, I didn't think you'd actually know. Please, don't tell anybody.
Naturally. Yes, patient confidentiality is vital in our line of work.
I don't think the
got diagnosed? An addiction to energy drinks, huh? I don't know why I thought it was something venereal. Yeah, branding, probably. Honestly, I don't even know if Coopers have anything down there. They could be like mushrooms or something.
I don't think I read the mushrooms line before when we were reviewing that script.
That is new. Yes,
Oh.
that was added.
I don't think I've seen the reception desk animate. That's quite recent as well, isn't it? I like the little the Medi bobblehead. Really cute.
Yeah, we do have quite a few different versions of this desk. We've only got one in the demo, but there's going to be like a double-sided desk and an alternate angled desk, so you can kind of create your own reception arrangements as you wish, and of course color them how you wish as well. The reception is actually maybe a good thing to show off the prop variants as well, Lee. If you go to place a reception, you can press tab and go through different variants. There's quite a few different decorative objects in the game that have these variants as well.
I did not know that.
Including that little countertop with Dan's floating mug. There's a few variants of that one.
Does one of the countertops with Dan's floating mug have a mug that's not floating?
I believe so, yes.
We're taking hits from the asteroids again. It's all going very wrong. Oh no, they hit our skeleton horde. What will we do? Have a look at our desk with the floating. Which one was it? Double cabinet. One. Oh, double cabinet right. So it has one without the mug. That's not what I want. I want the mug, but in the right place. Is that one of our coffee cups?
We will have to hotfix the game. It is actually, yes. We have those in our office. Yes.
You lot take care of yourself.
You'll have to wait for a very critical hotfix patch for your mug to not be floating anymore.
Where's Clem? Oh, there we go.
I feel way better now. Now I can get back to romping again. Yeah. Which I do all the time, just so you know.
Good for you, sir. Best of luck.
Oh, off you go, Clem. Get packing. Well, I've got two sort of like relatively well filled out hospital sections. I do like the the receptionists all typing away. So our variant system, Josh, it doesn't currently select one at random.
It will select one at random by default, but then you can customize effectively with the variant system.
I think that. Let me just check this. Yeah, so like when you place one down, it should probably go to the next variant or a random variant. Well,
I think it does.
it currently doesn't, because all my oh no, maybe. Oh no, I must have placed. Maybe I just got 3 in a row by total coincidence.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Wow, hey, that was pretty fast. Thanks. I can put these pills back in the cabinet and get back to having jazzy times at the festival.
What is going on with our angry patients? What's up with you? Long wait, 850 seconds.
That's quite a long wait, Lee.
Low nutrition. And undecorated area. God. They'll complain about anything, won't they?
Well, you know, I was about to say if I had to wait 800 seconds at a hospital, I'd be mad. But actually, that's a very reasonable amount of time to wait in a real life hospital.
That is I would be pretty glad if on the NHS we got in 800 seconds.
Yes.
Like down to A&E, which is the equivalent of what people are doing here. Like they're just turning up, like 800 seconds to get in, get out, like totally cured of your condition. That's amazing.
Yeah. That would be pretty amazing, but in this, futuristic
what are
space
you
hospital,
for?
800 seconds is unacceptable.
You're waiting for this drinks machine? Oh, I think she's stuck. That's why.
Oh yes, we do occasionally have patients getting stuck. Unfortunately,
I'm gonna send her home.
She may be a victim of that.
Leave. Oh no, she can't leave either. Well, I guess she's just going to starve to death.
Indeed.
How unfortunate. Oh, we got a bunch of energy drink rewards for this event.
Well, yes, because you just treated Klembanzik for his addiction to energy drinks, so he's going to give you all of his spares.
Instantly maxes out all needs. Side effects may include shaking, heart palpitations, headaches, and death.
Don't worry about that. Not a problem.
Well, I mean, it'd be pretty bad if I used it on a doctor and then they died. So when I'm using the stabilizing, is it stabilizing solution that I just selected?
Down the phone about
it is. When I'm using the stabilizing solution, it's highlighting people with low health. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
It's currently doing it. Maybe I bugged that.
Hey, are you medical guys any good at the cyber? Because we have issues with
good at the cyber.
And if you don't
do
something,
it
I'm
was
going
doing
to
it,
have
and then yes,
a panic attack.
Mr. Moon, I'm not entirely sure that our contract covers.
It covers it. I put it in there. Holograms are just as important as the musicians to me, man. They're people. It's in the contract. You have to believe me, please.
Director, holograms can't be covered because they don't actually exist. That said, it is probably worth doing this so that our client doesn't cork it before he can pay us. If we're going to do healthcare on the lights, our best shot is to prepare some treatment canisters. What we'll need to do is take the canisters, cart them over to laser surgery, and shoot them with the lasers until they're so full of lasers that we can do healthcare on the lights. The canisters are entering our hospital now.
Our burning moon is getting very hot now. Here come our first canisters. Love these little guys. Probably worth getting those guys prioritized.
Yes, definitely.
Are only 2 of them? Oh no, there's a third one. There he is. He went the other way. So, oh, is that a notification of pests? Yes, it is. We got a bunch of these. Oh my god, it's all going mental. Oh no. Oh no, there's vomitongs everywhere.
Oh my god, the lights are still out. Oh no,
Did I get the one?
think I'm dying.
Bad Wolf asked, is Richard Ridings in this too? And yes, Richard Ridings is in this too. He is... Go for the full name,
died. Basanora Fagoria.
Yes, Richard Ridings is Baz, who is a giant psychic space whale who sells gadgets, who will visit the hospital occasionally to do just that. So we should see him pop up in a couple of minutes.
I am putting Stefan's pathfinding through its paces with all these scuba skeletons, I think.
Oh dear Lee, what have you done? What have you done? Obviously, this game is not finished.
Yes.
And you will see issues like this arise.
Primarium. I think somebody died over here. Oh, that's a lot of people with space frights. Oh, speaking of devil, he just arrived.
That they are, robot. Our treatment canisters are ready to be delivered down to the festival.
I've been talking to them a bit, and they seem kind of weird, but nice.
You've been talking to them. I'm fairly sure that nobody's home.
Please help me. Yeah, we've been sharing data. Being a motorized tube seems hard on people. How long will they be gone?
Well, the energies involved will totally atomize them on delivery, so, you know, a while.
Oh.
Yes, terrible. Wave goodbye to your friends, Maddie. And away they go. What a thrill.
Oh, good, you're still here. Do I seem any younger? I'm in a new body and I feel gorgeous. Anyway, we see your canisters coming and they're full of lasers. Great. Good luck.
And somehow, Leonard Moon has returned. What a thrilling twist.
Somehow, Leonard Moon has returned. Oh, and our lights are back on. Good job, team. Slizzard is just like absolutely dunking on me. He is being very cruel.
Lee, you probably want to move that skeleton away from the door that's upsetting those poor Koopa Bowie. I don't think they can quite handle it.
Yep, there you go. Very good. I'm gonna face it towards the door now.
Wow, that worked. You've officially saved my ass. The holograms are back on and everyone is vibing and stuff. Thanks.
Yes, Leonard Noontide. Yes, indeed. He is named after me. That was Josh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's why I kill him. That's why I insisted that we have him die, but unfortunately he can't actually die because he can clone himself. Odes.
Leonard Moon is having ode problems by the sounds of it, and not just personally.
Leonard Moon is having ode problems. Yes, RPR 2000, Reaper 2000, maybe? It is possible to kill Leonard Moon. He does, in fact, just die. It's very subtle. It's not very subtle. He actually has a heart attack while he's talking. But you'll also notice that his name has changed from Leonard Moon 14 to Leonard Moon 15. That is because all odes are, in fact, clones. So if we click on one of our ode patients, we'll see that each of them has a number. So Portman Maxwell the 12th. That's the 12th Portman Maxwell there has ever been. Right. Let's find out what's going on with Leonard Moon and his ode problem.
Oh, hey. Hi. So you ever have one of those days where it feels like an evil spirit is trying to harass you into a psychotic break? Anyway, all 4 members of the band, the Exolodes, are about to die soon from burns they decided to get as a prank, I guess. And if you can't heal them, please just eat them or whatever you people like to do. I'm, like, totally done with this. Thanks.
Did you just say please eat them? Wayoons from Star Trek Voyager. I love Voyager, and I don't remember what that is. Maybe I need to watch it again. Do you know who the Wayoons are, Josh?
No. Like, I've seen Voyager quite recently,
Look at
but that
them
name
go.
does not
I've
ring a
already
bell. Are
received
they like a
much
fairly
of HR
forgettable
complaints, but I'm
background
sure our
alien?
staff will switch gears once they realize how
Oh.
good they suddenly
Our
are at doing
Exolodes have
healthcare.
arrived.
This is an entirely irrelevant line.
Who voices the
It's still a game by the
Exolodes?
time of the demo. I apologize and hope you're
I
having a
believe
wonderful day.
that I voiced the Exolodes, every single one of them.
Cool spot, man.
That is
I am
correct,
dying
Lee.
big time.
I'm dying big time!
It's always about you, right? Don't you care?
So,
Anxiety spiral, and
Hey
there's
Kitty,
no toilet to be
the reason why Waynes and Voyager was not
Selfie
something we
full of
recognised is
mind-reading
because they're
and
actually in Deep Space Nine.
catastrophizing that I'm just
They're the weird diplomat people that work for
It's fine, Tim. I'm sure I'll find
the
somewhere to
Dominion.
hang out. You've
The-
gotta stop
the-
letting Jim
oh,
walk over
I'm
you
sorry,
all
I'm
the
talking
time,
over dialogue
man.
that I can't hear.
I'll get you a max caffeine, and then you can chill out a little. Bro, I am not great with this
Kaufman drama triangle situation.
Whoa, look at that pile of fluids on the floor. I'm gonna drink that like right now.
My god, this was like an absolutely fun event to voice. Dante did a great job writing these guys. So the voice for Heel and Leonard Moon, Dante, he also writes the game. Did quite a lot. And does all the voice direction. What are our Exolodes doing? There's a bunch of lines that these guys have, which I don't know if they'll end up triggering. They all
Well, it depends on how. Yeah, it depends on how
long
many
they
you
take.
kill, right?
Well, okay, so yes, you can kill them, and then you get different lines based on how many of them died. They all have a death line, as do all most VIPs. They all have like, and then there's different outcomes for the event based on how many of them died. They also have a bunch of like needs, and when they go and fulfill their need for the first time, so the idea is that they're meant to have low needs when they come into hospital. I don't know how true that is, but they're probably not low enough for them to go do it. But each of them has a need that when they go fulfill it for the first time, they have a line as well. This is like the longest event in terms of writing, and I don't think most of it happens in the demo.
It's great I'm still alive. I feel good, like, physically. You guys have any stuff for being in a dark spiral of anxiety and self-doubt? Electrocute my brain or something?
Afraid not. Good day, sir.
Okay, that's fine, yeah. Bye.
Thanks for your patronage, Galacticare.
Man, I feel so good. I might even try and raise my arms above my head again. Thanks, health people. This has been really pretty okay.
You're entirely welcome, my elderly friend. I look forward to
definitely
hearing
too much
your
money right now.
performance.
Wow. Really?
Good luck to you, Mr. Clyde.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Oh man, I feel like I could choke myself out. I haven't been in this good shape for like 300 years now. Thanks for the new mojo, health people.
Yes, quite a bit of money. I don't feel the need currently to buy this extra section, but I certainly could. Yeah, it wouldn't even make a dent in the amount of money I've got. Like 1/10 of my monies. Where is our last Exolode? Do we see him? Oh, here he is. Is that actually Jim? He is taking his sweet time. God, he does not want to go wherever he's going. He's approaching treatment in laser surgery. Bad Wolf asks if this is a totally new game engine from War for the Overworld.
So it's still running in Unity, but our technical infrastructure has been sort of completely and utterly rebuilt from top to bottom, from our many learnings of our suffering developing War for the Overworld, which for those of you who were around back then would know was sort of the very first game that any of us had made, and it was not particularly well put together on the inside. So when we first started working with Galacticare, we sort of built a very rock solid foundation to put everything on, and it's a lot nicer.
Wild.
and more stable. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's obviously also on a more modern version of Unity. Like, War for the Overworld is still on Unity 5.6, which is before they even started calling them, like, 2015, which I think they started doing in 2015. So, it's from a very old version of Unity now. And this is on... Is this on 2022, I think?
Yes. I believe... Oh, no, actually, I think we might be on 2023 now. It is... Yes, it is not 6 years old, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, you got them all fixed already? Okay, that's actually really great, because I was starting to wonder if I should just nuke the festival and, like, flee to the Outer Rim. Hey, thank you. This has, really made my day.
Slizzard, so there's a few people talking. Anchors has said, from Twitch has said, it would be fun if you could decorate the skeletons, lab coats, sunglasses, funny hats. Maybe that's some variants.
Yeah, no, it would be fun to do stuff like that in variants. Yeah. It would probably be relatively easy to do with the various accessories that we've got, actually, like the sunglasses and goatees and things like that.
And Slizzard says it would be great if patients or doctors interacted with some props.
So we have a little bit of that going on. It's not super obvious right now because it's a feature we've only just got in, and some of the animations aren't quite there. But characters will go up to and like sort of admire your decorations. Eventually, they're going to do things like point and sort of look at things and ponder. They're also going to be able to walk up to each other and have conversations. Although at the moment we can see that Doctor is just having a conversation with herself.
Actually, I didn't see that.
that was quite interesting. But yes, they will walk up to each other and have conversations with each other. They'll admire decorative props and other stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously they do interact with any machine that they need to use. So like obviously all the treatment machines, all the corridor props, like the drinks machines and the toilets and stuff like that, they interact with.
Yes.
But there's definitely a lot more. I think it's a whole system called Hospital Life, right, Josh?
Yeah, and that's what's going to sort of govern and control all of those little interactions. It also has stuff as well, like they're going to cough and sneeze and yawn, and just generally be a little bit more animated than they currently are. I like how you had some vomit there and then you built some decorations around it, and now it cannot be cleaned up.
Oh yeah. No, I built those decorations long before that vomit turned up.
No, it was there at the start, I remember it.
No, surely not. I'll look back on the VOD or whatever we're gonna end up with after this. Let's find out. Should we find out what Leonard Moon wants?
Hello, Galacticare.
Oh. Well, hello there. I don't believe we've been introduced.
I didn't.
Gazria, for the purposes of this event. Baz has a
Josh,
lot
I
to
didn't
say
trigger that
about
event.
you. Seems to think you might be capable of great
You're ahead of me,
things.
so I can't see what's happening
Sorry
yet.
for the inconvenience of my affliction, but I wanted to see if you're all he's made you out to be. It's quite funny to screw around with Leonard Moon, and I figured that having his headliner get half consumed would give his heart a real kick. Oh, this does hurt rather a lot more than I thought it would, though. Having your skin rapidly eaten away isn't my idea of an interesting night. Any chance of a hand?
Well, I certainly don't see why not.
Well, okay, well, Gazria's here.
Yes. Have you gone and looked at her yet? You're not where I am.
Yes, I am. I'm literally looking at her right now. It's still telling me to answer the call. So that's cool. Very good. Very good.
That is a problem. And you're not able to answer the call?
No, I'm able to answer the call.
Okay.
The final act, the
Perhaps we should do
headliner, the
that.
colossal musician, they got a disease that melted their skin off. Why would they do that? Why would they do that?
Well, this has turned out to be Word gets around, eh? Let's hope this process continues to work. And as before, we'll need to dispatch a shuttle to take a tissue sample and from there figure out the best way to treat the Colossal's unusual flesh.
God. I tell you what, it's one thing to see Kuba with toxin addiction, but the human female with the toxin addiction?
Oh.
My God. She is jittering like crazy. What do we got there? Cranial fracture. We got a few metalheads. We got some jellification. And we got a space invasion. God, that's horrifying. My God. Let's get our sample collection, shall we, from Gazria. We'll launch our little ship. Go and get our sample out. Yeah, how good at this. Did we do an animation for this?
We did. It's a little bit rudimentary right now. But it's getting there.
A good sample collection. Oh, it came in sideways. These crashed.
Yeah, there's a real problem with parking shuttles in this demo.
The sample has been collected and
nobody
the
knows how
ambulance is
to
on
park.
its way back. Diagnosis canisters will be deployed shortly.
Here's our canisters with our samples in them. So, what about canisters, Josh, right? We have all these species. What are the canisters for?
Yeah, so canisters are how we effectively interact with objectives that are outside the hospital. So these canisters will come in with, samples. Like, for example, these canisters right here, they've got a blood sample from that colossal alien to then go and get diagnosed. And then we sort of will figure out what's wrong with the alien and how to treat them. And then you will get treatment canisters will also come into the hospital, and you'll need to fill those treatment canisters with sort of medication or sort of other substances in order to then go out and treat the colossal alien with. Because obviously that colossal alien cannot get into your treatment rooms because they are larger than your treatment rooms. Later on we use these for all sorts of different events. There's one event, for example, where the patient that you're treating is in fact a whole planet. So I'm not going to go into the exact details, but effectively you have to deal with a bunch of these treatment canisters, which eventually then make their way down to the planet in order to treat the whole planet and bring it back to health. Hey, the shuttle's parked properly now.
Oh yeah, so it is. Anchors asks if there's an easy way to follow a patient around the hospital, and yes, you can just click on them and then you can click follow. Your camera will automatically follow them. What's this patient called? Arnold Ambrosia the 15th.
Hey.
Roman Scorpio.
Hi.
Lillian Singleton.
So the Ode, they all have very interesting names, but something that's particularly fun about their names is the number at the end, which is actually the representative of how many clone bodies they have had. Because the Ode are all very, very old, and their bodies are all generally quite old, but every time they die, they actually just move into a new clone body, and that number increments. So you think they wouldn't care about dying, but they actually do, because it is very, very fashionable in Ode society to have a low number. So when they come into your hospital and they are trying to not die, it's not because they're, concerned about their existence ending, they're just concerned about their fashionable low number. Though occasionally you'll see, some Ode come along that's like a 25 or something, and, well, they've not been having a good time.
It's kind of like Discord usernames.
Oh no, let's not talk about Discord usernames.
Oh. Yeah, I was just looking at the different names for the patients. I put all of these in very recently. Some of them were already there, which we'd had for a while. But filling out those patient names was a lot of fun.
We just got
Patient
done
name generator.
analyzing the sample.
Yeah, up until a week
and
ago,
the
I
data's
think all
pretty
humans
gnarly.
had like a
She's
total of
being
5
devoured
names.
by the
And
same
all of them were my
bacterial
name.
levels. If we can run canisters
Yeah.
Or Chiro.
Every 5th patient would be like Lee.
The treatment canisters
Every
have
5th?
arrived.
Well,
It's
okay, like
like
every
every
other
fifth patient
male,
wouldn't be.
every other like
The
human male
treatment
patient was
canisters?
Lee. It was Lee
The
and Chiro,
colossal?
and I think that was it.
Laser surgery?
Oh, yes, yes. Quite. Terribly sorry. Paper for a new fusion train design was just released. Rather distracting.
Fusion trains?
Wait,
Why would
what?
Nothing at all.
he'll be mentioning
Good luck in there
trains?
and so on.
Why would Heal be mentioning trains?
Mm.
It's almost as if level 3 is about trains.
Oh.
It
Well,
is. There's trains everywhere. It's really fucking cool. I'm not meant to swear. My apologies. I don't know if I meant to swear actually. Who knows?
God only knows. What are the rules these days? I should prioritize these canisters. Although I think they're getting through quite well, and I totally forgot
You
that
should
there
still
is-
prioritize them because they
Yeah.
need to go into 2 rooms in total. So yeah, this is actually something. Is there's quite a few conditions, which include some of the things that canisters have to do, that actually have to go through multiple treatment rooms. So in order to deal with those problems, you generally want to keep those rooms in close proximity. Shlizard asks, can you give your own names to patients or doctors? We are meant to be able to do this with doctors. I don't actually know if that works yet. You can rename your rooms, I know that works. But I don't know if we have doctor renaming as a thing just yet. Patient renaming probably won't happen. Just because, well, they're your patients. You shouldn't be able to rename them. Then again, you shouldn't really be able to rename doctors that work for you. But, you know, it's fine.
I mean, I assume that their employment contracts just mean that you actually own them. They never leave. They never go anywhere. They
No.
they just exist in
that's how it works
perpetuity.
in management games. You just your staff enter your facility, be it your hospital or your whatever.
They stop
and then
living their lives on the
they
outside.
never leave.
Bye, Baz.
They occasionally get to go and sit.
Gonna look at a few treatment rooms while we wait for the canisters to go through the hospital.
Oh look, Ekith is in chat. It has been a long time.
How you doing, Eek?
In Twitch.
Good to see you. Did we have any chat in Steam? I don't know if I'm not seeing any Steam chat come through.
So I've seen 2 people talk in the Steam chat. When I tried to type into the Steam chat, it just said error. So I'm assuming that's the case for a lot of people.
Wow. Wow. Alright, whoa. There's a laser beam from this laser surgery, I think. Where's our last canister?
Oh, favorite disease in the game from Anchor.
The canisters are all good to go.
In the demo, I think my favorite is Festicrosis, which is where the characters have basically had half of their flesh melted away and will be eaten by sort of this flesh-eating bacteria. And one of the reasons I really like it is because each species has a very different sort of skeleton underneath. Particularly the Diani, the plant characters, who don't really have bones. They have this sort of intricate root system on the inside, which you can see if you can, I don't know, find a Diani with Festicrosis.
Or we can look at the Diani skeletons that I placed
or we
into
can just look at the
room.
Diani skeletons, yes. But yes, they are very cool. That is, I think that's my favorite one in the demo. As for in the full game, I don't know if I'll be able to answer that. There's too many. There's too many that are really cool.
Loads of conditions. Like, what? So how many conditions do we have in the demo? Like,
actually, I was thought you were going to say in the game. I was going to say it's about 50. But in the demo, I don't know. I think it's close to somewhere between 10 and 15. It's only a very small subsection of the conditions that are in the game. But every single condition in the game has a unique set of visuals attached to them.
Help me.
And most of them can affect most of the species. So it's pretty interesting to see how, for example, like with Festicrosis, how it affects the different species with their different bones underneath.
Yes, it's over.
There are also a few conditions that are unique to individual species. So, like the Ode, for example, get a special condition where their very large head sort of becomes quite sort of bulbous and inflamed. That's something that we see quite a bit later in the campaign. The Koopa Bally, who are those very big guys walking around, they get this condition which messes with their fists, which are in fact what they use to walk on. They get all crusted up. And yeah, again, each of the species has one or two things that are unique like that.
Give me a hand here.
So Slizzard says it would be good to get bad illnesses. I'm just hanging on the pending call, by the way, because I think that's the end of the level.
I think it is the end of the level, yes.
But I don't know whether you want me to proceed and we can just start answering questions, or...
Yeah, let's go ahead with the ending, okay. And then we can transition to just doing questions for a little bit before we
got 15
wrap
minutes
things
left,
up.
Yeah? Ish.
We were actually meant to end 45 minutes ago, but it's fine.
Were we? Oops.
Yes. It's not a problem.
No, it was 2 hours from 5 o'clock. It's now...
It was meant to be... Oh, actually, no, sorry. It was meant to end 15 minutes ago. It was meant to be 2 hours from 4:30. But it's okay. Don't worry about it.
All right, don't worry about it. Right.
We can do our ending cutscene, answer the last few questions, and we'll be all good.
Cool. Okay, let's get to it.
Man, if you guys had done any worse in treating that colossal, I think you would have all gone to jail. But whatever.
Wow.
I won't tell anyone about this if you don't tell anyone about that music executive who tripped and smashed his head open. Deal? Thanks, I guess. I'm out.
Maybe it was...
Sick as a dog.
Sick as a dog.
I think it's after you claim the rewards.
Yeah, there we go.
It's on? Yeah. Okay. Everybody, thank you for sticking with us.
Oh no.
We're about to blow the biggest
not
damn
worked?
hole in this burning moon
Okay,
since
good.
the festival began. Get ready to ring in the end times with all the other delinquents out there. Because it's fun. Because it's wild. And just because we can. Behold!
Well, that's quite something. I'm sure everyone's fine, Director. I suppose I'll update Galacticare's chart of the system to remove the moon. Well, that's all you're up for, Director. I and the other staff can take care of the after party for you if you'd rather head off. Our next contract awaits. Otherwise, we'd certainly be very grateful for your expertise. Whatever you choose, well done today. It was a pleasure to watch you at work.
All right.
Dear prospective customer, if you are hearing this message, then you have completed the Galacticare demonstration. Congratulations! Truly magnificent! Now that you have achieved this life-changing milestone, be sure to wishlist this video game now, and we will see you very, very soon. Otherwise,
You won, Lee.
the development team will be fed to the dogs. Thank you, and
yeah, so that's the end of level 2. Obviously we didn't go through level 1 in that playthrough, where you would have learnt some of the basics and met some of other characters. But that's basically what we've got in the demo. Also, you can subscribe to the newsletter from within the demo, and which will unlock our lovely little Postmaster Medi there. That also gets you Postmaster Medi in the main game as well. And yeah, so I guess we can answer questions for a little bit, and then we'll wrap things up.
Yep.
Anchor's asked, is that Matt Berry? It's not Matt Berry. It's a guy called Ben Kearns, who is voicing a character called Dorian Salazar, who you meet in level 1, and Dorian Salazar then recurs over the next couple of levels as well.
Yep. It's really cool to write characters that turn up over the course of the campaign, because you get a little bit of character development, and you get to have a relationship with them, which is something that we felt is kind of missing from these games. That's why we've structured the campaign a bit more traditionally, rather than it being a series of sort of like sandboxy like levels. It is a series of story driven levels with like very particular experiences, and we're really excited to get a lot of those out, because a lot of them are very cool. Like, so a lot of these images showing up now are from levels that are not in this demo.
Yes, like the trains,
yeah, or the planets and the retrograded space. Loads of stuff, so much stuff to come, so much stuff to get done. But yeah, really cool. So yeah, we're happy to take questions, and we'll also go back and answer some of the ones that we may have missed. So Slizzard said that it would be good to have bad illnesses to look after ASAP, which is, I think, the intention behind the danger level design. Are we still calling it danger level? Sounds very...
Already still called danger level, although I don't like the term danger level, but yes, basically...
It sounds like very, I don't know, 70s, 80s, right? It's danger level.
Yeah, but effectively there are conditions that have a higher danger level, which will result in, well, effectively the patient dying sooner. And when patients die, they leave behind remains, which make everyone around them very sad. There are also some conditions which cause patients to vomit more and make more mess, which also then makes other patients sad. And there is one level where so danger level is normally 0, 1, 2, or 3, so that's most of the conditions in the game. And then there is one level later on where we actually have a danger level 4 condition, and those patients are basically just, I'm not allowed to swear, dead, unless you like really get on and save them very quickly. But that's kind of how we govern the importance of individual patients and how quickly you need to deal with them.
Yeah, so definitely more to come there. And in general, sort of like with the demo version of the game, balancing is like a little bit raw.
It's very soft. It's very soft right now.
Very soft.
Yeah, we don't have the fines for when patients die. We don't have the bankruptcy system in, so you won't actually get your hospital shut down if you do run out of money. And also things like the critters, which give you extra money, are giving you a bit too much right now. They also spawn a bit too quickly. Like, it's generally very, very generous. The demo is very generous and very forgiving. Tightening that up is something that we're going to be doing over the next couple of months.
Yeah. Really looking forward to getting a lot of those systems in, but it's so fulfilling to play the game now that it's reached this state. Like, it's been a long time coming. I think we had the first iteration of this level that we just played through like a year and a bit ago, I think.
I think maybe longer, but yes.
Yeah. And just seeing it sort of like all come together. And a lot of these other levels, which are in progress and coming down the pipeline, really excited to see people start playing it. I'm really, really eager to hear how people feel about the game in general and where we're going with it. Looking forward to seeing it. Blizzard asks, any chance for vendor and toilet upgrades?
There is actually a special toilet that you can buy from the merchant and eventually craft as well, which will generate a bunch of research whenever it is used for the particular condition that patient has.
So yeah, going to be plenty of options. There's also more variety in the vending machines as well. Like in this demo, we only have one vending machine available to you, but you do unlock more throughout the metagame progression. Ultra Flipman asks, it says that they like the non-story levels in games with objectives. Are there levels like this, and can players make custom levels? So first of all, there is a sandbox mode in this game. It is not in the demo. Currently we only have the 2 story levels, but the general idea behind how sandbox mode is going to work is that you can return to any level that you have been playing in the story, and you will be able to play that level onward in sandbox mode. As we say, it's not currently in the demo, so you can't continue in sandbox mode in the demo, but in the final game you will be able to. And I do believe we are intending to have specific sandbox levels, right, Josh?
Yeah, there's going to be just regular sandbox non-story levels that you find as you progress through the campaign, as well as the fully scripted story levels.
Mm-hmm. And to be clear, like having sandbox levels doesn't mean that there's not events or voice acting or anything like that. We are planning to have sandbox events which only appear in sandbox levels. So unlike the sort of like very linear scripted path of the actual story levels, the sandbox ones will generate random events, and those will have their own narratives and story as well. They'll be a lot more light touch, and it will give us an opportunity to do a lot of hopefully funny things, and hopefully have some recurring characters and all that sort of cool jazz. So yeah, when that's up and running, it's going to be really.
Yeah, and the sandbox levels are actually kind of more in line with the gameplay that you would experience in sort of other games in the genre. And yeah, that is something that you can get in any level in the campaign, but also in the dedicated sandbox levels. And then I guess the thing that Galacticare is really doing differently is having the fully scripted story levels with the voice acting, the events, and everything. That's like our sort of special sauce that we're bringing to the genre.
It's I hesitate to say this because it's kind of like it's our own stuff and you don't laugh at your own jokes, but I find it very funny.
Oh dearly. Oh
yeah.
dear.
Yeah. So Slizzard asks, which content will be carrying over to the next levels, if any?
Yeah, so pretty much most of the sort of progression systems carry over. So your research carries over, and that's research on treatments for conditions. It's researching blueprints in the crafting system. That carries over. Your relationship with each species from the influence system, that carries over. The special currency, the lomium, that you earn for completing events, that carries over, and of course everything that you unlock with that currency also carries over. And your consultants, which are the hero doctors, those carry over. So you collect those as you progress through the campaign. They're all tied into the story with their own. They have their own little stories and journeys that they go on, and their own unique mechanics. But they have a progression tree. They can level up all the way to level 10 and beyond, and that also all carries over. So pretty much everything carries over, apart from your normal doctors in the hospital and your money that you have in your hospital. Those are kind of the only things that get left behind. Oh, and also every time you complete a level, there's a series of unlocks that you can get depending on your star rating within the level. Those also carry over.
Can we see some of that now? Is that how many of the I've not actually looked at these menus. Do we have any of those menus in the game yet?
We can see the research. If we go back to the main menu, that's the only one that we actually have turned on in the demo. And this is actually one of my favorite things in the game. Is the Pathodex, which is your like encyclopedia of diseases. And it basically just lets you sit there and go through and look at all of these terrible afflictions that your patients can have. And it's kind of wonderful. The research system actually also adds a bit of narrative into each of the conditions. I'm not sure how far ahead Lee is and what I'm talking about right now, but there's this sort of research note system, and as you progress the research of each condition, you basically get this little story that's attached to each condition. Some of them are in the demo, some of them are just sort of classified right now, which is to be written, basically. But yeah, there's this kind of little journey, this adventure that each condition goes on, with these notes from your doctors. Although that's not always showing up quite right. Like there you go, there you can see with jellification.
Some of them are a little bit rough. I feel like this is something that came in like a few days ago.
I may have added this in yesterday.
Yeah, I remember seeing all the keys going into the localization spreadsheet, and just being like, oh yeah, okay, that's going in, is it?
Yes.
My favorite one is that the guy who's the person, whoever they are, who's always doing the diagnosis is called Dr. Diagnosis. Very, very funny. It's a great joke. We're very good at the funnies in this game. Yeah.
You can also change the species at the bottom, Lee, so we can see how it looks on each of our species. And in fact, we can see some of the species that are not available to play with in the demo, but you can really see their visuals. We've got the Zill and the Tenki and the Visage there.
Yeah. Really, it is really cool to see the conditions applied to the different species. Nice to see this make it in the demo. I think we weren't sure whether it was going to end up actually making it all the way in.
Yeah, no, this one was definitely a stretch for the demo. I'm very glad that we managed to get it in. Mostly, anyway. As you can see, there's some issues with the text, but we're mostly there. So Anchors in Twitch asks, can the consultants go above level 10? What benefit do you gain from this after collecting all their skills? So they each have like a mastery ability, basically, which is sort of a very, very low power but infinitely stacking thing that eventually just makes them infinitely stronger as they continue leveling up. So one of the examples is with Twiggy Pop, for example. That was the consultant we saw in level 2 that we just played. Her mastery trait will give everyone in her aura a buff where their treatments generate just slightly more credits. It's like 1%, I think, but every time she levels up above level 10, that continues to stack. So it's 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%. And each of the consultants then have something like that, so they continue to get ever so slightly stronger beyond level 10 if you continue playing and leveling them up. Right, final question from Schlizzard. Will there be various cosmic events? And will those events have any impact on patients/doctors? Sad, make them happy or sad or scared? And you also earlier asked about things like meteor showers. So yeah, we have what we call incidents. And incidents are those sort of random little disruptive events. And they, well, yes, the most obvious example that we see in the demo is meteor showers, but we have a couple of other things that are going to be in the full game. And that includes things like the pest incursions, which we also have one of those in the demo, where those little vomitungs come in. And they're all bad, so none of them will make your people happy. They will all either do damage to your hospital or disrupt your patients or your doctors in one way or another. Very few nice things will happen to your patients in this game. I guess apart from not dying if they manage to get treated, but most of the things that happen will be relatively unpleasant. And I suppose the same thing goes for your doctors. There's a lot of unpleasant things that will happen to them and to your rooms with the meteor showers and the pests and other things like that happening. Those will happen a lot more in sandbox mode as well. And we also have a feature in the patient spawner which will also be injecting sort of random disruptive waves of patients into your hospital as well, which will also happen more often in sandbox mode. Will we see a black hole at least once? So there isn't a black hole, but there is something in one of the few levels that we're not talking about that I think is cooler than a black hole.
Yeah, I think we have cooler ideas than a black hole.
So yes, we're not talking about that, but you will see.
Really excited to see. I'm excited to see that.
Cool. I think we're done. Yeah, so I think now is a good time to wrap things up. I think the official Steam Next Fest intro stream has just started as well. So yes, I think now is a good time to wrap things up now.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Josh, the voice of judgment from beyond. It's been really great to not be doing this alone. And it's been great to show you all Galacticare, probably for many of you, the first gameplay view of Galacticare. It's been really fun to take your questions. We really enjoyed it, and we're going to be doing a couple more of these over the coming days, right, Josh?
Yes, so we've got one on Wednesday at a sort of European-friendly time. It's at, I think, 7 o'clock UK time. And then we've got one on the weekend at a more American-friendly time, which I think is around 7 o'clock Eastern time. Our Steam blog post has correct time zones. We had a lot of time zone confusion when posting that earlier today, but it's all correct now. So if you go there, it'll all be correct and show you everything that you need in your time zone, basically.
And of course, you can now, if you want to play the game yourself, remember there is also the first level of the game. We've only shown you one of the 2 levels available in the demo. You can go and grab Galacticare's demo on Steam right now. That's just on the Galacticare store page, right, Josh?
Yes, just on the main store page for Galacticare.
And hopefully you really enjoy it. And we'd love to get you to wishlist if you do. So please give the game a go. Let us know what you think. Give us some feedback. Those of you who've been with us for a long time know that we are really, really eager to hear from the audience, from our fans. War for the Overworld was a passion project, a labor of love that we continue to work on for a long time. And we would like to make sure that, similar to War for the Overworld, Galactica ends up a game that the fans love and that continues to sort of like be viewed very positively for the long term. So yeah, really excited to get it in your hands. Want to know what you think? Let us know. And I think that's everything. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, thank you, Lee.
We'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Welcome, Director, to Galacticare. We specialize in the most important and humane of all industries, privatized healthcare. Faced with the complex challenges of hospital building, management, and the ever-present shadow of death, your role as Director will include the following: servicing various organic needs and preferences, constructing a variety of rooms to treat all sorts of horrendous illnesses, like that thing, hiring and managing staff from all 9 corners of the galaxy, and saving the lives of as many patients as possible. But not that one. There will be planning, building, upgrading, making rooms very pretty for your own mental health reasons, platonic relationships, galactic exploration, horrendous accidents, total professional ruin. And if all goes well, we'll get around to treating a few patients. It's a challenging position, Director, but we hope to welcome you to Galacticare promptly, and together save the galaxy, one patient at a time. But not that one. Staring at bins, critiquing art, being confusingly handsome. Not you, of course. I'm speaking of the Zill. Anatomically similar to Terran insects, the Zill are the remnants of a proud and cultured civilization. They'll clean up your hospital just for the fun of it and recycle everything they can, within their own digestive tract if necessary. They also have remarkable dress sense. Well, occasionally. This concludes your company-mandated cultural sensitivity training. Congratulations! Welcome, Director, to Galacticare. We specialize in the most important and humane of all industries, privatized healthcare. Faced with the complex challenges of hospital building, management, and the ever-present shadow of death, your role as Director will include the following: servicing various organic needs and preferences, constructing a variety of rooms to treat all sorts of horrendous illnesses, like that thing, hiring and managing staff from all 9 corners of the galaxy, and saving the lives of as many patients as possible. But not that one. There will be planning, building, upgrading, making rooms very pretty for your own mental health reasons, platonic relationships, galactic exploration, horrendous accidents, total professional ruin. And if all goes well, we'll get around to treating a few patients. It's a challenging position, Director, but we hope to welcome you to Galacticare promptly. And together, save the galaxy. One patient at a time. But not that one.